The old car groaned up the winding drive. Rain lashed down. Blackwood Manor loomed ahead. It was a dark shape against a darker sky. Lightning flashed. For a moment the house looked like a skull. Eleanor waited on the porch. Her smile was too bright, too forced. It did not reach her eyes. She waved, a small, jerky movement. The wind whipped her hair around her face. She looked like a ghost herself, welcoming them to their doom. Inside, the air was thick. It smelled of dust and old secrets. Sunlight struggled to pierce the grimy windows. Shadows clung to the corners of every room. Marcus looked around. His eyes were narrow. He did not trust this place. He did not trust this family gathering. Too many years had passed, too many words unsaid. He saw his Aunt Carol already there, her eyes like a bird's, missing nothing. Her lips were pursed, ready to spill poison or pronouncements. Aunt Carol was whispering with Eleanor. Their heads were close together. They stopped when Marcus entered. Silence fell. It was heavy, uncomfortable. Young Liam, his cousin, sat by the cold fireplace. He was always quiet, always watching. Now his gaze seemed deeper, older. The silence stretched, pulled tight like a wire about to snap. The family was gathering, but connection felt miles away, lost in the oppressive atmosphere of the ancient, creaking house. Dinner was announced. No one seemed truly hungry. The dining room was vast. A long, dark table waited. The grandfather clock in the hall ticked. Each tick was like a hammer blow, loud, steady, marking time or perhaps counting down. Outside, the storm grew stronger. Wind howled around the eaves. It sounded like a trapped animal, or perhaps a warning about the night ahead and the secrets Blackwood Manor held so tightly within its decaying heart. Aunt Carol cornered Marcus near a dusty bookshelf. "This house," she began, her voice a low hiss. "It has bad memories, you know." Her eyes darted towards Eleanor, who was arranging flowers with trembling hands. "Your mother, God rest her soul, she always said this place was cursed. She never wanted to come back. And now Eleanor drags us all here. For what, I wonder?" Carol leaned closer. "There are things buried here, Marcus, things best left undisturbed." Eleanor fussed with the silver. Her movements were agitated. She dropped a heavy serving spoon. It clattered onto the polished wood floor. The sound echoed. Everyone jumped. Eleanor's face flushed a deep red. "Oh, clumsy me," she said. Her laugh was brittle. It shattered the tense silence momentarily. But the unease returned quickly, stronger this time. It was clear she was on edge. Something was deeply troubling her, far more than just hosting a family reunion. Later, Liam spoke, his quiet voice surprising everyone. "I saw a light," he said, "up in the attic window, earlier." Eleanor stiffened. "Nonsense, Liam," she snapped, a little too sharply. "The attic has been locked for decades. It's probably just a reflection. This old glass plays tricks on your eyes." But Liam shook his head slowly. "It was a light," he insisted softly, "like someone was up there, watching us." The thought sent a shiver down their spines. Marcus found himself in the old library. Books lined the walls, their spines cracked and faded. He pulled one out. It was an old leather-bound diary. His grandmother's handwriting filled the pages. He flipped towards the end. The last entry was dated just before she left Blackwood Manor forever. It read, "He watches. He knows everything. He will never truly let us leave this place. The house demands its due." Marcus felt a chill. Who was he? And what did the house demand? A sudden knock echoed through the hall, loud, sharp, insistent. Everyone froze. The storm outside was at its peak. Rain hammered against the windows. Wind shrieked like a banshee. No one else was expected. Eleanor's face went white. She looked from Marcus to Aunt Carol. Fear was plain in her eyes. "Who could that possibly be?" she whispered. The knocking came again, more forceful this time, as if the visitor knew they were hesitating, knew they were afraid. Marcus strode to the heavy oak door. He pulled it open. A man stood on the threshold, tall and gaunt. Water dripped from his old-fashioned coat. His eyes were dark, unreadable. A strange, thin smile played on his lips. "Good evening," he said, his voice smooth yet unsettling. "I am Arthur, your great-uncle Arthur. I heard there was a family gathering. I decided it was time I finally joined." Eleanor gasped. No one had spoken of a great-uncle Arthur in years. Most believed he was long dead or had simply vanished. Arthur stepped inside. He moved with an eerie confidence, as if he owned the place. He knew where the drawing room was. He commented on the chipped paint on a portrait, small details, things a stranger shouldn't notice or care about. He looked at each family member. His gaze lingered on Liam. Liam, usually so quiet, met his stare. It was hard to tell if the boy was curious or deeply unnerved. Arthur's presence changed the air, making it colder, heavier. Suddenly, the lights flickered, then died. The house plunged into complete darkness. Aunt Carol shrieked. A thud followed. Silence. Then emergency lights flickered on, casting long, dancing shadows. Eleanor stood near the fireplace. She was holding a heavy brass candlestick like a weapon. Her breath came in ragged gasps. Arthur was near the window, his smile wider now, almost predatory in the dim light. "Ah," he murmured, his voice like silk. "Power outages, just like the old times here at Blackwood." Liam's voice cut through the tension. It was surprisingly firm for a boy his age. "He isn't Great Uncle Arthur," Liam stated. He pointed a trembling finger at a faded family portrait on the wall. A young boy with solemn eyes stared back. "That's Great Uncle Arthur. He died when he was 10. Pneumonia." All eyes turned to the man calling himself Arthur. The smile on his face did not falter. It seemed to stretch, becoming something grotesque. The man calling himself Arthur let out a low chuckle. It was not a sound of amusement. It was cold, empty. "Very astute young man," he said. "No, I'm not your long-lost uncle. He's been dust for nearly a century." He paused, enjoying their shock. "My grandfather was the caretaker here. He told me stories about the family, about the house, about its secrets. He confessed he had orchestrated this reunion. He wanted to reclaim what he believed was his family's due, a piece of the Blackwood legacy." Eleanor knew, Marcus accused, turning to his sister. Eleanor finally broke. Tears streamed down her face. "I just wanted to sell this cursed house," she cried. He said he could help. He said he knew how to make its dark history disappear so a buyer would take it." The man, whose real name was Silas, sneered. "She was a willing participant, desperate, but my plans were always grander. I intended to stay, to become part of the true Blackwood story." Just as Silas lunged towards Liam, Marcus tackled him. An old ledger, clutched by Silas, flew open, scattering papers. One yellowed page detailed the true Blackwood curse. The land demanded a guardian, a family soul bound to the estate. As sirens wailed in the distance, Liam had silently called the police. Silas whispered, his eyes wild, "The house always wins. It chose me." The family was left, shaken and scarred. The secrets were out, but the shadow of Blackwood Manor and its insatiable hunger felt more present than ever.